Well, this is the boarding pass again this week. A lot of things going on. Something that's foremost in my mind right now is what's going on the Rio Grande down in South Texas in the valley. This invasion of what we call UACs, unaccompanied alien children. The increase in the past year of children coming across with unaccompanied by adults. It's a 267% increase. The adults, and one of the things we forget is there are also adults coming across the river and surrendering themselves. 72% increase. The cartels and the smuggling operations that are smuggling these people from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador up to the United States. These are non-Mexicans. They're getting approximately an average of $5,000 a child. An interesting number. The month of May, the cartels and the smugglers earned $53,230,000 smuggling children from those three countries up to the United States. This is a cash crop for the cartels and the criminal organizations in Mexico. This is a national shame about what's going on. National shame on Mexico for allowing this to come to their country. And quite honestly, it's an overwhelming problem for the United States of America. Because this is the tip of the iceberg. The early estimate of the number of people to come across this year was going to be about 66,000. We're already reached the number of 50,000 right now, or close to it. So now that estimate is up. They're talking about 90,000 unaccompanied children coming up here this year. That would push the estimate for next year up to 200,000 coming across, because it's doubled every year since the president announced that there would be no detaining of children as they came into the United States. This is the direct result of bad policy by the White House and the lack of enforcing the laws on the border. Today, this is Friday, we sent a letter, and I was the lead on the letter, as was the chairman of the full committee of the appropriations, Hal Rogers. We were joined by several of our colleagues, including Mike McCall from Texas, demanding that the president enforce the law and telling him areas where how he could do it, following the law, to stop this surge from coming across the border. There's this humanitarian issue being discussed out there. And yes, these are children, and we know they're children. And I've raised my children. I'm raising grandchildren. I have a compassion for children. I taught Sunday school to children. I care about kids. But in turn, there's certain points and times when you have to enforce the laws. And this is about law enforcement in its simplest form. The laws are on the books. Follow the books, and you will be able to stop this surge. And let the people know down in Central America that there's no free ride in the United States. We have laws, and you have to follow the laws. This is not harsh. We have juvenile law in the United States, and our juvenile American citizens are expected to follow the law. I don't understand why people get confused about this. There's no increase in crime over last year or the year before down in these three countries. That is a fallacy. That is not true, and the statistics prove it out. Yes, they come from poor areas, but they're poor areas all over the world. The fact is, we are a nation of laws, not of men, and those laws need to be followed. And that's what our letter said to the president as kind of a roundup of what we said. It's time to enforce the law. The other thing we did this week, we worked on our Defense Appropriations bill. This is a $291 billion bill of discretionary spending. We're happy in this tight money time to give our military a 1.8% pay raise, which probably isn't as much as it should be, but it's better than nothing. And we've once again fought off the idea of that our colleagues on the left want to move all the Guantanamo people, the detainees in Guantanamo people, to the United States, and we've prohibited it once again. We also held elections here in our party because of Eric Cantor's unexpected defeat in the primary, and McCarthy Kevin McCarthy was elected majority leader, and Steve Scalise, our neighbor from Louisiana, was elected whip. These are good men, and they'll do a good job, and there'll be no break in the action of us moving forward to reestablish conservative government in the United States. These are serious times. We've got problems all over the world, and quite honestly, we seem to have almost an absentee president. This is really worrying everybody. But don't be too concerned. I'll be back in Texas, and there's nothing better than being back in Texas. So I'll see you this weekend, and be back to work next week.